I think a decentralized system could, in principle, be very good for a country for several reasons. One is that the government can be held more accountable to the needs of the citizens, and they can also exploit information locally that will allow them to target public goods in a much more efficient manner. So I think it could be quite beneficial for regions and the country as a whole.
Yes, it is, because if it's good for accountability, because if I don't know whether my mayor or my local minister is doing a good job, if I can compare his or her performance with the performance of some other of my neighboring city or neighboring county, then this comparison will put pressure on my politician to perform better, right? If I see the other community is doing much better than my own one, I will be able to tell my politician, look, you know, they can do it, why can you not do it? And that will put pressure on that politician to improve.
It's hard to say whether it works better or worse in a recession. There are some reasons to think that it might work better in a recession because oftentimes those are the periods in which citizens need government the most and become dependent on social programs. And if what decentralization does is make these social programs work more efficiently, then if anything, that might suggest that it would be a good reason or that it would work better during a recession.
So I think for the macroeconomic stabilization policy, as I said, there should be maybe a temporary mechanism that shifts more ability to spend and tax to the central government, but it shouldn't be a permanent thing because, as I said, I think in the long run there are a lot of benefits of decentralized decision making, but in such a deep economic crisis, you know, there should be maybe more power given to the central government.
Well, since pretty much the 1980s have becoming more and more decentralized, and the experience has been fairly mixed. I know mostly the case of Brazil, and there are some parts of Brazil where decentralization is working quite well, both in terms of the budget and how it's being allocated and the type of goods that that are being provided, and the degree of participation that the citizens are having with local government as a result of decentralization. In other parts of the country, however, and this is one of the problems with decentralization, is that government can be captured by certain people, by elite people who instead of providing, you know, general public goods, target the goods for their own benefits.
There are some countries that are doing relatively well. Let me mention Switzerland as one example. I think one reason why Switzerland is a federal country, meaning where the cantons, the local regional governments, have strong powers in a way, and they behave fiscally fairly sound. And I think one reason why that is the case is because the central Swiss government does not bail out local and regional governments. So if they misbehave or do excessive spending, they know they will be themselves responsible for that, and that basically provides the incentives for these cantons not to overspend or run big deficits.